This AI can do what my parents couldn't do. Teach me more about my Chinese. Very interesting. Well, at least my dad anyway. My mom would, if she would respond with this type of communication we're using. If she was right in front of me, she would tell me. My dad would tell me too. But talking with him is always a lot more challenging. Alright, let's ask AI. This is gonna get interesting.
So, how's your evening going?
Oh, it's going really good.
Glad to hear it.
Now, Daisei. What dialect is that?
Dai Say sounds like it's from Cantonese, a Chinese dialect spoken in Guangdong Province, Hong Kong, and Macau. In Cantonese, can mean serve you right or deservedly so.
Exactly. Now, how do you say it in Mandarin?
In Mandarin, deservedly so can be expressed as huo gai. It's used in similar situations as Dai Say in Cantonese.
What is Daisei two words and literally translated?
Dai Say in Cantonese comprises Dai, Di, meaning to deserve, and Say, meaning to die. Literally,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no worries. The phrase Dai Say in Cantonese is two words. Dai, meaning deserve, and Say, meaning die or death. Together, it's like saying deserve to die, used to express that someone got what they deserved.
So true, so true. Now, when I asked you before what Daisei before on another conversation, you said something. I mean, you said a lot more wording with it. It wasn't Daisei, it was something else. So I asked you to explain what Daisei was, and you said something else. So now, okay, I'll ask you again. What does Daisei mean?
I see the mix-up now. In a previous conversation, I mentioned Da Yi Shi Jingzhou, which means negligence lost Jingzhou, a different idiom. Dai Say in Cantonese means serve you right or deserve to die, reflecting a sense of getting what one deserves. My bad for the confusion.
The idiom. What's an idiom, and why did you use that?
An idiom is a phrase or expression that has a figurative meaning different from its literal meaning. I used Da Yi Shi Jingzhou because I thought you were referring to a well-known idiom when you mentioned Dai Say. My mistake there.
It might have been because I said something else with the Daisei. But before I mention what that was, okay, so Daisei means to deserve to die, and then what was the other idiom that you mentioned? What does that mean?
Dai Say means deserve to die or serve you right. The other idiom I mentioned is Da Yi Shi Jingzhou, which means negligence lost Jingzhou. It refers to losing something valuable due to carelessness. Both are cautionary phrases, but they highlight different kinds of errors.
So Daisei is also an idiom?
Yes, Dai Say is also considered an idiom in Cantonese. It uses simple words, but the phrase together conveys a cultural meaning beyond the literal translation.
Is the other idiom, is that also Cantonese?
Nope. Da Yi Shi Jingzhou is Mandarin. It's from a historical Chinese story teaching a lesson about the dangers of negligence.
How many
How many?
I'm sorry, how many dialects are there in China?
China has hundreds of dialects, but the main ones are Mandarin, Wu, including Shanghainese, Cantonese, Min, Xiang, Gan, and Hakka. Mandarin is the most widely spoken. There's incredible linguistic diversity across the country.
Okay, you say there's two main dialects, and then under those dialects you mentioned dialects within those dialects?
Exactly. China's linguistic landscape has a few major dialect groups, each with its own subdialects. Mandarin, Wu, Cantonese, Min, Yue, Xiang, Gan, and Hakka are the main groups, and each contains various regional dialects.
How many sub-dialects are there under Mandarin and then for Cantonese?
Mandarin has over 10 major subdialects, including Beijing, Nanjing, Sichuan, and Northeastern Mandarin. For Cantonese, the major subdialects include Guangzhou, Standard Cantonese, Hong Kong, and Taishanese. Each has distinct features, but shares core characteristics with its main dialect.
Mandarin, okay, so Mandarin has more. What, Mandarin has 10, and then I'm guessing what Cantonese has about 6 or 7.
Mandarin indeed has more variety due to its widespread use, with over 10 major subdialects. Cantonese has fewer, around 6 or 7 primary ones, like Guangzhou, Hong Kong, Taishanese, and
Now, how did they both develop? I mean, where is it mainly spoken? I think I know, but maybe you can confirm it for me. Mandarin and Cantonese, what's the main difference?
Mandarin and Cantonese are two major Chinese languages. Mandarin, the official language of China, is spoken widely across northern and southwestern China. Cantonese is primarily spoken in Guangdong Province, Hong Kong, and Macau. The main differences lie in pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. They are mutually unintelligible, meaning speakers of one usually can't understand the other without learning it as a separate language.
I'm sorry, you're saying they have to learn it. They are very different from each. That last part, you said they're very different. They can't understand each other.
Yes, that's right. Mandarin and Cantonese are quite different. The pronunciations, tones, and even some vocabulary and grammar can.
Now the North. Here's the way I learned.
I
heard about it. The Mandarin is of the high-speaking royalty, Northerners, and then the Southerners, the poor Southerners, the Cantonese.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Mandarin is the official language with high prestige, spoken widely across northern China and southwestern regions. Cantonese is predominant in southern China, particularly in Guangdong Province, Hong Kong, and Macau. The north-south division is key in understanding their distribution.
So there's a south, are those the poor farmers or something, and the north is all uppity rich people?
Not exactly. The north-south divide in terms of language doesn't perfectly align with wealth. Historically, southern regions like Hong Kong and parts of Guangdong have been very wealthy, while northern cities like Beijing are political and cultural centers. Both regions have a mix of rural and urban areas with varying levels of wealth. It's more about geography and history in language distribution rather than a strict economic divide.
Sorry, you said it was cultural and
Yep.
political?
Beijing, in the north, is a major political and cultural hub, while southern cities like Hong Kong and Guangzhou are economic powerhouses with rich cultural histories. It's a complex mix, reflecting the diversity of China's regions.
So only because the government is mainly in the north, that's why it's so prestigious, even though the south seems to be more of the trading and more of the economic powerhouse, I guess similar to Texas. The dynamic between New York and Texas, right? Analogy with the United States. Don't need a wrench again. All right, let me.
So, what's new this evening?
Mandarin and Cantonese. What other? Is there a third? Is there a third dialect?
Yes, besides Mandarin and Cantonese, another major Chinese language is Wu, which includes dialects like Shanghainese, spoken in the Shanghai region. It's quite distinct from the others.
So Wu is not Mandarin or Cantonese. It's not a sub.
Correct. Wu is a distinct language, not a subdialect of Mandarin or Cantonese. not a subdialect of Mandarin or Cantonese.
Percentage. Can you do a percentage
Not
of
mhm,
of how
not
prevalent
about
those-
3% of the population in China
About
speaks Wu,
3%
making it
of
a
the population
significant,
in China
though much
speaks
smaller
Wu,
linguistic
making it a
group
significant,
compared to Mandarin
though
or
much
Cantonese
smaller
speakers.
linguistic group compared to Mandarin or Cantonese speakers.
what
All
would be
right,
the percentage
considering the
of
vast population of China,
All right,
approximately
considering the
70%
vast population
speak
of
Mandarin
China,
as their first
approximately
language.
70%
Cantonese accounts
speak
for
Mandarin
around
as their first
5% of the
language.
population.
Cantonese
The
accounts
rest
for
is
around
made up
5%
of
the
various
population.
other Chinese
The
languages
rest
and
is
dialects.
made up of various other Chinese languages and dialects.
Wait a minute.
Hmm?
Whoa.
Uh,
Wait a minute.
Hmm?
Did you say 70%?
Yep, around
is
70% of China's population speaks Mandarin as their
Around
first language,
70% of
making it
China's
the most
population
widely
speaks
spoken
Mandarin
language
as
in
their
the
first
country.
language, making it the most widely spoken language in the country.
How many?
Cantonese is
is
spoken by
Cantonese?
roughly 5% of China's population.
Cantonese is spoken
With
by
China's
roughly
massive
5%
population,
of China's
that's a
population.
significant number of
With
people.
China's massive population, that's a significant number of people.
And where are those?
Given China's
5%?
population of over 1.4 billion,
Given
about
China's
5%
population of
would
over
mean around
1.4
70 million
billion,
people
about
speak
5%
Cantonese as their
would mean
first
around
language.
70 million
That's
people
comparable
speak
to
Cantonese
populations
as their
of some
first
entire
language.
countries.
That's comparable to populations of some entire countries.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
2 countries.
If you think about places like the United Kingdom
Pretty
and
much.
France,
If you
each with
think about
populations
places like
around
the United
65 to
Kingdom and
70
France,
million,
each with
that's about the
populations
number
around
of Cantonese
65 to
speakers in
70
China.
million.
It's like an
That's
entire
about the number
country's
of
worth of
Cantonese
people
speakers in
speaking
China.
Cantonese.
It's like an entire country's worth of people speaking Cantonese.
And
Most
where are
Cantonese
those people
speakers are in
China?
Guangdong province, including cities like
Cantonese
Guangzhou,
speakers are
and
in
in the
Guangdong
special
province,
administrative regions of
including
Hong
cities like
Kong and
Guangzhou,
Macau.
and in the
There's
special
also a
administrative
significant
regions of Hong
Cantonese-speaking
Kong and
community
Macau.
in
There's
overseas
also a
Chinese
significant
diasporas around the
Cantonese-speaking
world.
community in overseas Chinese diasporas around the world.
Sure,
Name those
outside of
countries
China,
again.
significant Cantonese-speaking communities
Sure,
are
outside
found in
of
countries
China,
like the United
significant
States,
Cantonese-speaking
Canada,
communities are
Australia,
found in
the
countries
United
like the
Kingdom,
United States,
Vietnam,
Canada,
and Malaysia.
Australia,
These are key
United
spots where
Kingdom,
Cantonese
Vietnam,
thrives among
and
the
Malaysia.
Chinese
These
diaspora.
are key spots where Cantonese thrives among the Chinese diaspora.
That's cool. I'm sorry. That's awesome that you said that. I actually I misspoke. I actually meant to say also. Meant to say the areas within China.
Got it.
But thank you.
Within
for that.
China, besides Guangdong province,
Got it.
Cantonese is
Within
prominent
China,
in the
besides
Guangxi Zhuang
Guangdong
Autonomous
province,
Region
Cantonese
and in the
is
special
prominent in the
administrative regions
Guangxi
of
Zhuang
Hong Kong
Autonomous
and
Region
Macau.
and in
It's
the
also
special
spoken in
administrative
parts of
regions Hong
Hainan
Kong
province.
and Macau. It's also spoken in parts of Hainan province.
So 4 regions in
Correct.
China: the Macau, Hong Kong region,
Correct.
and the Guangdong region, and then
That's right.
kind of the
In
other 2
China,
regions.
the main regions where Cantonese is spoken
That's right.
are
In
1.
China, the main
Guangdong
regions
province.
where Cantonese
This is the
is spoken
heartland of
are
Cantonese,
1.
including cities
Guangdong
like
province.
Guangzhou.
This is the
2.
heartland of
Hong Kong,
Cantonese,
a bastion
including
of
cities
Cantonese
like
culture
Guangzhou.
and language.
2.
3.
Hong Kong, a
Macau,
bastion of
another
Cantonese
special
culture
administrative
and language.
region where Cantonese
3.
is
Macau,
widely spoken.
another special
4.
administrative
Guangxi
region where
Zhuang
Cantonese
Autonomous
is
Region,
widely spoken.
particularly in areas
4.
bordering
Guangxi
Guangdong,
Zhuang
where
Autonomous
Cantonese
Region,
is prevalent.
particularly in areas bordering Guangdong, where Cantonese is prevalent.
all these are southern regions
Mhm.
in China.
Hong Kong
Which
is
is the
generally
richest
considered the richest
for-
among these regions, known
Hong
for
Kong
its
is
status
generally
as a
considered the
global
richest
financial
among
hub
these regions,
with a highly
known for
developed
its
economy.
status as a
It has a
global
high
financial
GDP
hub
per
with a
capita
highly
and is a
developed
major
economy.
center for
It has a
international
high
business
GDP
and
per
trade.
capita and is a major center for international business and trade.
And
After
then
Hong
the other
Kong,
3.
Macau ranks highly in terms of wealth, thanks to its
After
booming
Hong
tourism
Kong,
and gaming
Macau
industry,
ranks highly
giving
in
it
terms
one of the
wealth,
highest
thanks to its
GDP per
booming
capita
tourism
figures
and
in the
gaming
world.
industries, giving it one
Guangdong
of the
province
highest
follows,
GDP
being
per
China's
capita figures in the
economic
world.
powerhouse with a diverse
Guangdong
economy
province follows,
centered around
being China's
manufacturing,
economic
technology,
powerhouse
and
with a
trade.
diverse economy
Guangxi
centered
Zhuang
around
Autonomous Region
manufacturing,
is developing
technology, and
but
trade.
less affluent than the
Guangxi
others.
Zhuang Autonomous Region is developing but less affluent than the others.
When did Macau get its
Macau's
gambling
reputation as a
reputation?
gambling hotspot began in the 1850s when the
Macau's
Portuguese
reputation as a
government
gambling
legalized
hotspot
gambling in the
began
colony.
in the
It
1850s
really took
when the
off in the
Portuguese government
1960s with
legalized
the introduction
gambling in
of
the
modern
colony.
casinos,
It really
and it's
took off
now
in the
often called the
1960s
Las
with the
Vegas of
introduction
Asia.
modern casinos, and it's now often called the Las Vegas of Asia.
Is there anything about its about surgeons?
Macau has
and
made efforts to
doctors
improve its
in
healthcare
Macau?
infrastructure, but it's not particularly
has made
known for
efforts to
surge in
improve its
doctors
healthcare
or medical
infrastructure,
advancements.
but it's
The
not
region mainly
particularly known
focuses
for
on its
surge in
casino
doctors
and
or
tourism
medical
industries,
advancements.
relying.
The region mainly focuses on its casino and tourism
No worries.
industries.
Macau's
Rely-
healthcare system has
Sorry,
been
go ahead.
expanding to meet the needs of its growing
No worries.
population
Macau's
and
healthcare
tourism
system
industry.
has been expanding
It's seen
to meet the
improvements in
needs of its
infrastructure
growing
with modern
population
facilities and an
tourism
emphasis
industry.
on quality
It's seen
care.
improvements
The
in
region is
infrastructure
also
with
focusing
modern
on
facilities
medical
and an
tourism,
emphasis on
attracting
quality
patients
care.
from
The
nearby
region
regions.
is also focusing on medical tourism, attracting patients from nearby regions.
Why is it focusing on medical tourism?
Macau is
Are there any
leveraging
famous
medical tourism
doctors from
to diversify its economy beyond gambling,
Macau is
offering
leveraging
advanced medical
medical tourism
services
to
at
diversify
competitive
its
prices
economy
to
beyond
international patients,
offering advanced
especially from
medical
nearby
services at
regions.
competitive
While there
prices
aren't
to
widely
international
recognized
patients,
famous doctors from
especially
Macau
from
on a
nearby
global
regions.
scale,
While there
the
aren't
region's
widely
medical
recognized
professionals
famous
are known
doctors
for
from
their
Macau on a
expertise,
global scale,
particularly in
the
fields like
region's medical
traditional
professionals
Chinese
are
medicine
known for
and
their
cosmetic
expertise,
surgery.
particularly in fields like traditional Chinese medicine and cosmetic surgery.
any surgeons, famous surgeons from there? That are
There-
yeah, that are. When I say from there, when I mean from
There-
there, when I say from there, it sounds like they're not in Macau. From there, but no, from there means that they live there. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I had a brain fart, as they say. My kind of yeah. So are
There
any
aren't
famous
globally
surgeons
renowned
from
surgeons
Macau?
specifically known to be from Macau. The
There
region's
aren't
medical
globally
community
renowned
is
surgeons
more locally
specifically
focused,
known to be
and
from
while there
Macau.
are
The
skilled
region's
professionals,
medical
they
community
might not
is
have the
more
same
locally
level
focused,
of international
and while
recognition
there are skilled
as those.
professionals, they might not have the same level of international recognition.
No, that's
as
what
the-
I'm saying. When I say from Macau, I'm not saying as if they went somewhere else out of Macau. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe I should word it as: are there any local Macau surgeons that are famous within themselves, within the?
I see what
Macau
you mean
itself,
now.
or global?
Within Macau, there aren't globally renowned surgeons who
I
have
see what you
gained
mean.
fame explicitly for their
Macau,
work in
there
Macau.
aren't globally
However,
renowned
there
surgeons
are
who have
skilled and
gained
respected
fame
medical
explicitly for
professionals
their
in the
work in
region
Macau.
known for their
However,
contributions to
there are
healthcare,
skilled and
particularly
respected
in
medical
areas
professionals
like
in the
traditional
region
Chinese
known
medicine
for their
and cosmetic
contributions to
procedures.
healthcare,
Their
particularly in areas like traditional Chinese medicine
No problem.
and cosmetic
While
procedures.
Macau has
Those-
skilled local
Sorry, go ahead.
surgeons, there aren't any that have
No
gained
problem.
significant
While
fame
Macau
on an
has skilled
international
local
level.
surgeons, there aren't any that have gained significant fame on an international level.
Those local famous
Specific names of local Macanese surgeons who are famous within Macau don't have the same level of
Specific names of
international
local
recognition
Macanese surgeons
as
who are
those from
famous
larger
within
medical
Macau
hubs.
don't have the
Macau's
same
medical
level of
community is
international
more
recognition
regionally
as
known
those
for
from
its
larger
collective
medical
expertise
hubs.
rather
Macau's
than
medical
individual
community
fame.
is more regionally known for its collective expertise rather than individual fame.
I'm sorry, I can't provide specific
name any
names
of them,
of
though.
local famous surgeons from Macau.
I'm sorry.
The region's
I can't
healthcare
provide
professionals
specific
are
names
respected,
of local
but they
famous
typically
surgeons
don't have the
from
same
Macau.
level of public
The region's
recognition
healthcare
as in
professionals
other
are
larger
respected,
medical.
but they typically don't have the same level of public recognition as in other larger medical
You must have at least one
I
name,
understand the
the
curiosity,
most famous one.
but there aren't internationally renowned surgeons based in Macau
understand the
known
curiosity,
to the broader
but
public
there
or
aren't
media.
internationally renowned surgeons based in Macau known to the broader public or media.
If I
Sure,
give
give me
you
the
a
name and I'll
maybe
see what
you
I
could
can
look it up.
find.
Sure, give me the name and I'll see what I can find.
Okay, the last name is let me see.
I'll see what I can find about a surgeon named XU
X.
from Macau. Let me check. It looks like there isn't a well-known surgeon with the last name Zhu specifically from Macau. If you have another name in mind, I can check for you.
Last name Zhu, specifically from Macau. If you have another name in mind, I can check for you.
Interesting. That is how you pronounce it.
All right.
No, that's fine. Okay. So anyway,
All right.
Yeah, it's quite surprising given how prominent Cantonese culture is, especially in places like Hong Kong and Macau. Mandarin dominates as the official language, but Cantonese still holds a significant cultural influence.
Mandarin dominates as the official language, but Cantonese still holds a significant cultural influence.
yeah, but you're saying only 5% of the population speaks it. You're not even saying cross.
Exactly.
You're not even
The
talking
majority
about
of people
who
in
speak both
China
dialects.
speak Mandarin.
Exactly. The majority of people in China speak
About
Mandarin.
70% of the Chinese
so how
population
many
speaks
speak
Mandarin.
both?
About 70% of the Chinese population speaks Mandarin.
No, I mean,
For those
can
who
speak
speak
both
both,
Mandarin and-
it's challenging
and
to
Cantonese.
pinpoint an exact number. Many Cantonese
for those
speakers
who speak
also
both,
learn Mandarin
it's challenging
due
to
to its
pinpoint
official
an
status,
exact number.
especially in
Many
education
Cantonese
and media.
speakers also
However,
learn
an
Mandarin
accurate
due to
percentage
its
of
official
bilingual
status,
speakers
especially
combining
in
both
education
languages
and
across
media.
China isn't
However,
readily
an accurate percentage of bilingual speakers combining both languages across China isn't readily.
Yeah, it's fascinating how language dynamics play out in such a vast country like China. With such
Yeah,
a
it's
large
fascinating how
population
language
and
dynamics
diverse
play
regions,
out in such a vast
bilingualism
country
becomes
like
quite
China.
common.
So
With
it's
such a large population and diverse regions, bilingualism becomes quite common.
so they're forced to learn Mandarin. Maybe that's why they don't know so much
Yep.
Cantonese and so
Yep.
so what is the fourth most spoken dialect in percentage? Broke its brain again.
So, what's new this evening?
So, what's new this evening?
What's the fourth most dialect?
The fourth most
in,
spoken dialect in China is
China.
typically Min, including
Yeah,
varieties like
what's the percentage
Hokkien
of
and
that?
Teochew. It's tough to pinpoint an
fourth most
exact
spoken dialect
percentage,
in China
but Min
is
speakers
typically
make up
Min,
about 4 to
including varieties
5%
like
of China's
Hokkien and
population.
Teochew. It's tough to pinpoint an exact percentage, but Min speakers make up about 4 to 5% of China's population.
Okay, let me think. So 70% plus for Mandarin, and then 5%
Exactly.
for
Nope.
Cantonese, 3% for Wu. I'm guessing.
Exactly.
I'm guessing
Nope.
maybe
Yeah.
4% or 3% for that fourth one you said.
If we estimate,
Name-
Mandarin might be
name
around
all the dialects that
70%,
add up to
Wu,
100%.
including Shanghainese, around 8%,
estimate,
Ye, Cantonese,
might be
around
around
5%,
70%,
and other dialects like Shang,
Shanghainese
Gan,
around
Hakka,
8%,
and various minority
Ye,
languages make up the
Cantonese
rest.
around 5%, and other dialects like Shang, Gan, Hakka, and various minority languages make up the rest.
Okay,
I
name
estimated
all the
Wu at around
percentages that you said,
8%. Let's clarify.
of those.
Mandarin
You
70%,
said Wu
Wu
was
8%, Ye Cantonese
I
5%,
estimated Wu
Min
at around
4%.
8%.
The remaining
Let's
13%
clarify.
includes
Mandarin
dialects like
70%,
Shang,
Wu
Gan,
8%,
Hakka,
Ye
and
Cantonese
other
5%,
minorities languages.
Min 4%.
These are rough
The remaining
estimates.
13%
As
includes
precise
dialects
figures,
like Shang, Gan, Hakka, and other minorities languages. These are rough estimates. As precise figures.
all right.
So what
The
should
top
two
3 main dialect
dialects?
groups in China,
I mean, the
Mandarin,
top
Wu,
two.
and Ye Cantonese. These
All right.
cover the majority
top
of the
3 main
population.
dialect
The
groups
rest
in
are
China,
covered by other
Mandarin,
dialects like Min,
and
Shang,
Ye
and
Cantonese.
Gan.
These cover the majority of the population. The rest are covered by other dialects like Min,
Sure,
Shang,
in
and
order.
Gan.
1. Mandarin.
name 1,
2.
2, 3
Wu,
order of
Cantonese.
most to least.
Mandarin has the most speakers,
Sure, in
followed
order.
by Wu,
1.
and then Ye.
Mandarin. 2. Wu, Cantonese. Mandarin has the most speakers, followed by Wu, and then Ye.
That's interesting because in my previous conversations you mentioned
Apologies for any confusion.
Wu at
Let me clarify. 1. Mandarin.
3%.
2. Ye, Cantonese. Typically,
Apologies
Mandarin
for
has
any
the most speakers, followed by
clarify.
Cantonese,
1.
and then
Mandarin.
Wu.
2. Ye, Cantonese. Typically, Mandarin has the most speakers, followed by Cantonese, and then Wu.
You're right, and I
Okay, so
appreciate
now
your
you're
patience.
changing
Let's clear it up.
because I said
Mandarin
Wu
is
at
first.
8%, but now you're
Ye,
saying
Cantonese is generally around 5%,
You're right,
and Wu
and I
is indeed
appreciate your
higher,
patience. Let's clear it
about
up.
8%.
Mandarin is
Thanks
first.
for catching that.
Ye, Cantonese is generally around 5%, and Wu is indeed higher, about 8%. Thanks for catching that.
That's incredible because my whole life I kept thinking Mandarin was Cantonese was a lot larger. I was thinking maybe 40 or
Yes, that's
30%,
correct.
40%.
Mandarin is significantly more
So
widespread,
Mandarin
partly
5%,
because it's the
5%.
official language of China. Cantonese,
Yes, that's
while
correct.
culturally
Mandarin is
influential,
significantly
especially
more
in
widespread,
Guangdong province and
partly
Hong
because it's
Kong,
the official
has
language
fewer
of China.
speakers in comparison.
Cantonese,
It can
while
be
culturally
surprising.
influential, especially in Guangdong province and Hong Kong, has fewer speakers in comparison. It can be surprising.
Oh, it can be really surprising. I was speaking to this one guy, this white guy, this very old white guy. He spoke so many
And-
dialects, but he didn't recognize the Cantonese one, which is
That makes sense.
weird if you-
Mandarin has a lot of regional variations
speaking
and
a whole
accents.
bunch of
People who are
Mandarin
used to different
subdialects.
Mandarin dialects might not
That makes
immediately
sense.
recognize
Mandarin has a
Cantonese,
lot of
which
regional
sounds
variations
quite
and
different.
accents. People who are used to different Mandarin dialects might not immediately recognize Cantonese, which sounds quite different.
Now,
Yeah, it means you have to live with the
is there an
consequences of your
idiom for
decisions.
make your bed?
You made your
You
bed,
made your bed,
now you
sleep
have
in
to
it.
deal with it. It's about
Yeah, it means you have to live with the consequences of your decisions. You made your
in
bed,
Chinese you can say
now you
自作自受,
have to deal with it.
自作自受,
I mean,
which means you deal with the
in
consequences of your
Chinese.
actions. Similar to you made your bed,
In Chinese,
now
you
lie
can
in
say
it.
自作自受, 自作自受, which means you deal with the consequences of your actions. Similar
No,
to
it
you
doesn't
made your
relate to a bed.
now lie.
自作自受, 自作自受
anything to do with
directly
what I
translates
say?
to self-do, self-suffer, meaning you face
No,
the
it doesn't relate
consequences
to a
of
bed.
your own actions.
自作自受,
It's more about
自作自受
personal responsibility.
directly translates to self-do, self-suffer, meaning you face the consequences of your own actions. It's more about personal responsibility.
Yeah, I think that's the way my mother said it. I was remembering it incorrectly.
Yep, easy to
I
mix
must have
up.
mixed it up
English
with
idioms
English.
often use vivid
Similar
imagery,
English
like
idiom.
bed.
That must have been it.
Yep, easy to mix
Simple.
up. English idioms often use vivid imagery.
What is-
Ji-gen,
what is-
Ji-gen
what is-
doesn't form a meaningful phrase in Mandarin. Ji
Simple.
What
means
does
how
zhong
many
mean?
or several, and
Ji-gen doesn't form a meaningful phrase in Mandarin.
oh, zheng,
Ji means
zheng,
how many
the easiest
or
way to
several.
say.
No, no,
The whole
no. I mean,
or entire.
the single
For
word.
instance, 整个 is the whole
Oh,
or
整,
the entire.
整, the easiest way to say. The whole or entire. For instance, 整个 is the whole or the entire.
Okay, so then what does this? Okay, what does this phrase mean? This sentence.
That phrase doesn't
Niga,
form a
niga,
coherent sentence in
niga,
Mandarin.
niga,
It
zhong,
seems to
niga,
repeat the
niga,
words
zhong, niga,
niga
niga,
and
zhong.
zhong, but without additional context or structure,
That phrase
it doesn't
form
convey a
coherent
specific
sentence in
meaning.
Mandarin. It seems to repeat the words niga and zhong.
In another dialect,
Without
that
additional
phrase
context
still
or
doesn't clearly
structure,
convey
it
a
doesn't
specific
convey a
meaning.
specific meaning.
How about in another dialect?
In Cantonese, nigo zhong,
In another
Nigo
dialect,
zhong
that phrase
still doesn't form a
clearly
clear
convey
sentence.
specific meaning.
Niga
Cantonese.
means this, and zhong
In
means type
Cantonese,
or
nigo zhong.
kind. But
Nigo
without
zhong
further context,
doesn't
it's
form a
hard to
clear
determine
sentence.
the intended meaning.
Niga means this, and zhong means type or kind. But without
Yes, in
further
Cantonese,
context,
zhong
it's hard to
can mean
determine the
type
intended meaning.
or kind.
Did you say type or kind?
Yes, in
Yes,
Cantonese,
exactly.
zhong
Type, as in category or
kind.
kind.
You mean TYPE?
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
Kind
exactly.
as in a category
Type as
or
in
type of
category
something.
or kind.
In Cantonese,
Kind,
zhong
K-I-N.
is used in this way.
Yes, that's right. Kind as in a category or type of something. In Cantonese, zhong is used in this way.
Yes, if someone
So it
says
could mean
nigojong,
if someone's using a
in
sentence
Cantonese,
saying,
it could be part of a
"This is
phrase
your
meaning
type
this
or
type or this kind. It's used to
Yes,
categorize
if
or
someone
describe
says
something.
nigojong in Cantonese, it could be part of a phrase meaning this type or this kind. It's used to categorize or describe something.
Got
Wait
it.
a minute.
In that phrase,
Wait
niga
Ni-
means
niga-
this, and zhong means type
Niga
or
means what?
kind. So niga zhong
In that
could translate to
phrase,
this
niga-
type or this
niga
kind in
means
English.
this,
It
and
depends on the
zhong
context of the
means type
conversation.
or kind. So niga zhong could translate to this type or this kind in English.
Yes,
It depends on the
nigojong,
context of the conversation.
directly translates
what could
to
that
this type
possibly
or
mean,
this
this
kind
type or this
in
kind?
English.
Yes, nigojong directly translates to this type or this kind in English.
What happens if
In
someone was
Cantonese,
saying,
if someone says
This-
nigo hai nega
this
zhong,
is your
it could
type,
mean this is your
kind?
type
What
or
would
this
that
is your
mean?
kind. It suggests something is a
In
good fit
Cantonese,
for you
if someone
or
says,
matches your
"Nigo hai
preferences.
nega zhong,"
It's often used
could
to
mean,
express that
"This is your
something
type
suits
or this
someone's
is your
taste
kind."
or style.
It suggests something is a good fit for you or matches your preferences. It's often used to express that something suits someone's taste or style.
Suits their taste or style. What does that
It
mean?
means that something is a good match for their preferences or
What's
personality.
another way of saying
For example,
word?
if someone likes
Of
a
that
certain
phrase.
kind of clothing, food, or music,
Good
and
match
you show
for
them
their
something similar,
preferences or
you might
personality.
say, "This is
For
your
example,
kind,"
if
to
someone likes
indicate
a
it's
certain
likely
kind
they
of
will enjoy
clothing,
it.
food, or music, and you show them something similar, you might say, "This is your kind," to indicate it's likely they will enjoy it.
You could
That it
also
fits their
say,
characteristic.
"This suits you," or "This is right up your alley." These phrases convey that something fits
could
well
also
with a
say,
person's tastes or interests.
This suits you, or this is right up your alley. These phrases
Exactly.
convey that
It
something
means it
fits
aligns well
a
with their
person's taste
characteristics,
or interest.
personality, or typical preferences. It's a way of saying that something is a
Exactly.
natural fit
It means
for
it
them.
aligns well with their characteristics, personality, or typical preferences. It's a way of saying that something is a natural fit for them.
Exactly.
That it fits them. That it fits them. What would it mean if What would it mean if someone is describing the son as the type and the father as the for example, my mother was saying it describing me to my father. I mean my mother was telling my dad that in reference to me. Buddy? It's gone crazy. Well, not crazy.
If someone says, "I fought the sun," it could be a metaphor for battling overwhelming challenges or enduring hardships that feel relentless, like the sun's heat.
If someone says, "I fought the sun," it could be a metaphor for battling overwhelming challenges or enduring hardships that feel relentless, like the
Sure.
sun's heat.
If someone says, "I fought the sun," it might be a metaphor for struggling against
what?
overwhelming
Could you repeat all
challenges or enduring hardships that feel as relentless as the sun's heat.
If someone says, "I fought the sun," it might be a metaphor for struggling against overwhelming challenges or enduring hardships that feel as relentless as the sun's heat.
I fought.
What word was that you used?
I mentioned it could be
What the word?
a metaphor.
What isn't? Did you say a word?
I mentioned it could be a metaphor.
What was the word again?
The word was metaphor.
The word was metaphor.
Oh, metaphor. Okay.
Yeah, metaphor. It's a figure of speech where a word or
Someone
phrase is
metaphored
applied. applied to an object or action to which not quite.
Yeah, metaphor.
A metaphor is a figure of speech where a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable,
No, I know what a
suggesting a
metaphor- yeah,
resemblance
yeah, I know- I know
or
what a
symbolic
metaphor is.
representation.
It's a figure of speech
In this context,
where a word or
I
phrase
fought
is
the sun
applied to an
is a
object
metaphor
or
for
action
facing a
Okay.
challenge.
not literally applicable.
Okay, but you,
Suggesting a resemblance or
Got it.
symbolic
Is someone speaking in
representation.
metaphors?
In this
They're
context,
using
I
figures of.
fought the sun is a metaphor for facing
Got
a
it.
challenge.
Bye.
oh, fought, fought.
I
F
got
O
it.
F
Is
O.
someone speaking in metaphors? They're using figures of.
Wait a minute. Did you say the word
Got it.
F O?
Bye.
No, you said the word FOUGHT. Oh, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. You must. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
No, that's
I
not what
said fought.
You must have misheard. You must have misheard. It's the connection. So
Yes, I said fought.
yeah, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. You misheard it. It's the lag. Okay, what does zhong mean?
Got it. Thanks for clarifying.
Froze
Fine.
again. Zhong.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying.
It's lagging. So what time is it? 8:00. Okay, zhong.
Yeah. Sometimes the connection can mess with the clarity.
I have something else open. This thing.
Yeah.
Okay, this-
Sometimes the connection can mess with the clarity.
Drone usually refers to an unmanned aerial
Yeah,
vehicle or UAV that's remotely controlled or flies autonomously. It's used for various tasks like air. Drone usually refers to a
unmanned aerial
continuous,
vehicle or UAV
low, monotonous
that's
sound,
remotely
like the
controlled
hum
or
of an
flies
engine.
autonomously. It's used for various
Drone.
tasks like
It's a
air-
term for an
Drone
unmanned.
usually refers to a
Got it.
continuous,
A drone is an
low,
unmanned
monotonous sound,
aerial
like the hum of
vehicle,
an engine.
often used for various tasks like
No, I
aerial
mean-
photography,
no, I mean-
surveillance,
No,
or even
no, I mean-
delivering
got it.
packages.
I mean-
It flies without a pilot on board and
I
is
mean-
controlled remotely.
No, I mean.
often used for various tasks like aerial photography,
No, I mean.
surveillance, or even delivering packages.
No, I
It
mean.
flies without a pilot on board and
No,
is
I mean.
controlled remotely.
I mean in Chinese. In Chinese. Chinese.
Yep.
No, what does zhong mean in Chinese? Yeah, going crazy. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, let me. Because I don't want it to accidentally go. Kind of.